Alright guys, so I'm just going to be completely honest. I have no idea what happened to the intro of my video. It must have gotten deleted. It's nowhere in iCloud land or anything, so I'm just going to look different in this than the rest of the video. But this is just my kind of day-by-day breakdown, going over hotels, my thoughts, sharing restaurant names, all of that stuff for EF Ultimate Breaks Thailand Getaway Tour that I just did in June of 2023. So stick around and find out about my trip. Okay, so the first 2 days of the Thailand Getaway trip are actually meant for traveling. So the first day, we flew from North Carolina to Atlanta, so like an hour, and then our longest flight of the day was Atlanta to South Korea. Now that was about a 15 hour flight. It was a lot, not gonna lie. I knew it was gonna be miserable. I wish I had packed compression socks. I know a lot of people recommended those, but I don't know, wasn't my first priority when I was packing, didn't think about it. But it was a lot, so bring lots of movies, download your favorite shows, download books for your Kindle or bring physical books if you like that, and maybe some meds to fall asleep. Like, just be prepared, it's gonna be a long day. The food was okay. We flew through Korean Airlines. We didn't get as much food as I've had in the past on long flights that are American or European Airlines. Maybe that's just a me thing, but we didn't really get snacks. We got, I think, 3 meals over the course of 14 hours. And you know, they were like airplane size. But that was about it. I don't know. I was pretty hungry. I wish I had brought snacks, but again, the more you know. Now I know for next time. And then once we got to South Korea, we had, I think it was a 2.5 hour layover, and then we flew from South Korea to Bangkok, which was a 5-hour flight. I will say all the time changes were really throwing me off. From Atlanta to South Korea, you were going to one time zone, and then South Korea is in a different time zone. It's 2 hours behind Bangkok. So anyway, it was just a lot. But the big thing is our flight from Atlanta, South Korea did get delayed like an hour and a half, so it messed up our layover, and my husband and I were super worried. But like an hour before our flight landed, a flight attendant was actually coming around to people who had connecting flights and letting us know that like we've notified the airplane. Like, so that was a huge stress off our back. But what we didn't realize is it wasn't actually waiting for us. They just switched our flight, which was fine. But our tour director was like, yeah, we thought that like you just weren't gonna show up or something. And I was like, oh no, we thought it was the same flight. It was just delayed as well. So anyway, that's just good to know, but it really helped us feel secure so that we weren't like, we're gonna miss our transfer. Anyway, so that was good. And then we got to Bangkok. We were supposed to get in around like 9 at night, but we ended up getting in around like 11:30 at night. So it was a long 48 hours of travel, but the way EF schedules it is once you get to Bangkok, you can go right to sleep. So you have your transfer to your hotel, which I think was like 30 minutes, and then you can go right to sleep. So that was really nice. It helped with the time change a lot. So my initial plan was to film every morning what we were gonna do. Yeah, and I totally forgot about that, not even gonna lie. I did it on day 4, so the second day in Bangkok. I tried to do it for the first and second day because I forgot, and then I just didn't do it the rest of the trip. So here's a little bit of this, and actually this is our hotel that we stayed at, and yeah, here's some footage from the first day. forgot to do this yesterday. So we did the Grand Palace, we did the Wat Arun Temple. I don't think I'm saying that right. We got some lunch. We did like a local floating market tour, but it wasn't like the floating markets that we're going to today. It was just kind of supporting a local person. And then what else did we do? Oh, then we showered and got ready and went to our welcome dinner. We did the Grand Palace and then we did the Wat something temple. They were beautiful. And you will have to wear, for the Grand Palace, they have the strictest dress code of all the temples. So knees have to be covered, shoulders have to be covered. So I wore a short sleeve dress, maxi dress. My husband wore pants and like a kind of like a casual button up short sleeve shirt. So anyway, that was beautiful. I will say it was hot. Like we live in North Carolina in the summertime. Like we're used to getting really hot, really humid. So we weren't that concerned, but we weren't prepared. It was so incredibly hot. I've never had my knees sweat before. Like literally I felt my knees dripping sweat. You could see it. It was a lot. So just be prepared for that. Some people brought fans and like misters and stuff. Do that 100%. Another thing to know about Thailand in general, you cannot drink from the tap. So like keep your mouth closed during showers. Brush your teeth with water bottles. I personally didn't feel like bringing a reusable water bottle was worth it because the water bottles there, you can just go to any like 7-Eleven, buy a big water bottle and it's like 10 cents in American dollars. I think in baht, it was like 20 baht or something. For like a liter of water. So I would just do that in my opinion. So anyway, that was the first day and then we had our welcome dinner. So our welcome dinner, we had to take a ferry across the town or across like the river in Bangkok. And it was a super cute restaurant. It was all reserved for us. They had cute little EF decorations and it was like family style. So they were bringing out, Lord, I think it was like 5 different like rounds of like multiple different types of food. It was a lot of fun. We got a couple drinks included. Something to note about Thailand that I didn't really know is they're not huge on like alcohol besides beer. So they have 2 types of beer because it's kind of like a monopoly. The government will only let Thailand sell 2 types of beer. They were fine. I don't drink beer, so the cocktails I would get were really, really watered down and sugary. So not my best drink experience, but it's okay if, you know, you don't have to be a big drinker. So I didn't feel like that really took away from my trip experience at all. Here was the second day in Bangkok. Today is day 4 and we are going to go to the floating markets. They're about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from downtown Bangkok where we're staying. So we are getting ready. We're gonna go do breakfast and then get on the bus and drive there. We're gonna be there until maybe like 1 o'clock, so like 4-ish hours, and then we're gonna come back, shower, and then we have some free time. So I think we're gonna go to a rooftop bar, do some shopping, and let's see how it goes. So on the way to the floating markets, we actually went to this coconut farm. I was not a big fan because again, animal tourism was rough there, and the people, I was in like their shop area. I would walk around and one woman just decided to follow me literally up and down the aisles, and I'd be talking to my husband and I'd be like, hey, I really like that. Like, that looks cool. And she'd be like, buy now. And I'm like, no. So anyway, our tour director is always like, everyone's like, you need to bargain when you're in Thailand. Don't just do. So there was like a plate and it was like 700 baht. So I tried, he was like, start at like half the price. So I was like 350 and she said, no, 650. And I was like, how about 500? And she was like, no, 650. And I was like, no. And she just took the plate out of my hand and just walked away. So yeah, that really turned me off with the whole place. So then after we did the floating markets, personally, I felt like The floating markets they were probably my least favorite thing we did during this trip because they were so dirty. There was so much trash, like so much trash. The water was really, really gross. And all of the animal tourism really bothered me. That was a big takeaway for Thailand, was there was a lot of animal tourism, very unethical. Not even just like elephant riding or anything, but like they would have like I don't know what they're called, but like little furry things. They'd be like, hold them, like, and they just looked terrified and not taken care of very well. And like, things were in like small, tiny cages, dirty cages. Like it was really hard for me to see. That was definitely something that was rough about Thailand. But again, I don't feel like it was super apparent. It was just really prevalent in the floating markets, I felt like. I will warn you, the floating markets, a big tip is they're gonna be pushy. So if you don't want something, just say no. You might have to say it 10 times, but they'll eventually be like, okay, and leave you alone. So you'll get in maybe like 6-ish people to a boat, and then you're gonna have a person driving the boat, and they'll take you to all the different floating markets. If you like anything, even if you're just like talking to someone on the boat and you're like, oh, that looks cool, the person will probably pull over and try and get you to buy something. That's okay, just say no. We didn't buy anything, or no, I bought one magnet. But besides that, don't feel pressured. At the end of it, you're gonna be able to walk. Some of the markets aren't on the water, so you can walk that, get some food. We did that, got a super good smoothie and some spring rolls, because those are my favorite Thai food. And yeah, it was really good. And if you walk across from the floating markets, I'm sure your tour director will point that out to you, but there's some really cute, some cute like coconut things. We got coconut, what's the word for it? Like utensils, pottery, like cute plates, all that stuff. I got some of that. Super cute, recommend it. Again, everything's super cheap, so great souvenirs to bring home for your family. Okay, so after the floating market stay and the coconut farm and all of that, we took our bus back to our hotel, and we had a free evening. We wanted to go to one of the rooftop bars, so we went to one that our tour director recommended. It was also very close to where we were staying, so it was really convenient. It was called Sky View 360, and what was the cool thing is you get to the top, you sit down, and then you're sitting on a rotating thing, not your table, but like the ground slowly rotates so that eventually it will be a 360 view of the city. And Bangkok, I knew it was a big city. I didn't realize how big until you're driving through it and you're also at the top, and it literally, I don't see an ending to the skyscrapers. So that was really cool. But I will say the food was it took a long time, like over an hour and a half after we placed our orders to get our food out. Our people who we were with, they got their food within like 45 minutes. We, for some reason, were another 45 minutes. It was a lot, but it was relaxing, and the cocktails were really good there, so that was a plus. So after that, we just went home, went to bed. A lot of people went to a couple bars, or this restaurant called Fat Cow with our tour director, who it's, again, kind of close to our hotel, and it was like really good burgers and stuff like that, but we wanted kind of, you know, like Thailand food, not American food, so that's why we went there. I know people had a lot of fun going out. We personally just were not big night people because we really like sleep. So day 5 of the tour, you get up and you are gonna go to the airport to fly to Chiang Mai. And our tour director, Touch, this was actually his hometown, so he was super excited. Chiang Mai has kind of a jungle vibe to it, so you get kind of city in Bangkok, jungle in Chiang Mai, and beach in Phuket. So that was really cool because you got a really wide variety. So in Chiang Mai, you do airport. That was an hour flight, super easy. You actually still get a full meal. It was really good. It was tikka masala, so Really good, the best food I think I had on airplanes. We got off the plane to Chiang Mai and half of our group ended up deciding to go do their own thing. And then the other half of our group went with our tour director to see another temple, and it was beautiful. It was probably my least favorite temple, but what was really cool is afterwards we got to listen to a monk speak about Buddhism. So kind of explain what that is. It's not a religion, it's more of a lifestyle, kind of his life story, the teachings of Buddhism. It wasn't trying to like convert anyone, it was just trying to, you know, be informational, and that was really cool. His name was KK, he was super nice. Again, super hot. Can't stress that enough. So after that first temple and our monk talk, we went back to the hotel to check in, relax. We had some free time for lunch. I really liked the hotel that we stayed at. It was beautiful. I didn't get to use the pool, but it looked gorgeous. But we just got food at the hotel. It was really good. The cocktails are really good. Yeah, just really enjoyed that. So after, I think that might have been like a 2-hour break, and then we went to our other temple. This was my favorite temple. So you take little vans up to the top of a mountain, because again, think like jungle. And then this temple, I'm not gonna butcher the name, but this is what it is written down. And then it's 306 steps up. So you can either take a tram ride up. I think it's like, I don't know, 1 baht or something, very little, or you can just walk the steps. It was 306 steps. It really wasn't that bad. It sounds really bad, but the steps are really like short and fat, so it doesn't feel like you're going up that much. There's bathrooms at the top. There's like a little town at the bottom of the steps too, so you can like buy souvenirs or drinks or like snacks or anything before you walk up. And then once you get to the top, it's gorgeous. You can see basically the entire city. You can see the airport. We watched planes take off. There was a lot of good spots. We also got to see monks in action, praying, doing their chanting. And then you could get like, they had a thing where you have like a thing of popsicle sticks that had numbers on them. So then you would shake them, and whichever thing fell out, you would look to that number's corresponding kind of fortune. And that was really cool. It was just beautiful. The colors were gorgeous. It was fairly quiet, which I was surprised about. But it was beautiful. My favorite temple personally. And then after that, we just went to this traditional Thai dinner. I'm pretty sure it's on the EF's website that says that's included. It's, again, family style. You don't have to pay extra, but there's a show going on and a huge dinner. So the dinner was really good. So afterwards, we just went home. Our tour director had organized a group of people to go to the Ladyboy show, which is basically like a drag show, but it's huge to Thai culture. We didn't feel like going because it was like 10 o'clock at that point. We were exhausted. We wanted to go to sleep, but a lot of people went. They said it was really fun. I think that was around, I want to say like 500 bahts. And then for the next night, he had organized for a group of people to go to the Muay Thai boxing match. And that was like, I think 1,000 baht because you were sitting like in the front row. Again, we didn't do either of those because we like to go to sleep, and those were like late night activities. People weren't getting home till like midnight, 1 a.m. So that was just personal preference, but everyone said it was really cool and definitely experienced. on the 6th day of EF's Thailand Getaway tour. We were in our 2nd day in Chiang Mai. So this was Elephant Sanctuary Day. So this was super exciting. We got to sleep in a little bit, which was nice. And we went to the Elephant Sanctuary, so that was gorgeous. It was about an hour drive, I wanna say, hour and a half maybe. And the big thing about this Elephant Sanctuary is it is very ethical. EF makes sure of that. So you're not allowed to touch the elephants, you don't ride them, you don't bathe them. Elephants are very sensitive to noise, overstimulation. They are not chained up. People aren't physically handing them food because they are rehabbing them. They're teaching them to forage for their own food. So the elephants are free roaming, and you're hiking through the jungle. It's on like a dirt path kind of, and just watching the elephants eat. You can get pretty close to them, but you, again, don't touch them. It was really beautiful. I highly recommend that you do that. People will say, oh, well, this sanctuary is really, really ethical. We're bathing them, blah, blah. But like, it's not natural for elephants to be surrounded by 50+ people, like throwing water on them, making noises. A lot of the time you're looking and you're like, oh, they're there by choice, but there's workers there like holding them in place, making sure that they're staying in the water so the tourists can bathe them. Overall, just stay away from that. Definitely don't ride them. I feel like that's a pretty well-known thing now, but like, don't ride them. That causes the elephants pain. It's very, very harmful for them. So please don't do that. So it was a beautiful experience. And then we got to chop up sugarcane and bananas and put them in like these like metal puzzle things for elephants to come up, and we got to watch them eat, which was super cute, super cool. And we also got an included lunch with that evening, so directly from the sanctuary, it was another like 45 minutes, and it was the other EF excursion, the home hosted dinner. So that was really cool. It was unexpected. We didn't really know what to expect, but apparently it's a very popular place in Chiang Mai. I really enjoyed learning. It was like a family compound, essentially. I really enjoyed learning about, they had like how they chew tea. They don't always brew it. So we got to actually chew that stuff, like how they make it. And then we got to walk around the farm with one of the lead family members, and he was, pointing out the different plants, and oh, this smells like licorice, and this can, numb your mouth when you have to get dental work done or whatever. It was just very interesting that all of that stuff was just out in nature. And it all looked the same to me. So it was really impressive and cool to see someone who like knew what they were talking about. And then afterwards we had food, and this was so much food. We were so full. We had a bunch of appetizers. It was like a buffet of appetizers, and then you learn how to make pad thai, right? So we're like, great, this is dinner. No, no, no. After you make the pad thai, that is also considered an appetizer, and then you have a family-style sit-down meal for you as well. It was so much food. It was all very, very delicious. I will say something in Thailand that surprised me is how meat-heavy everything was. I was expecting a little bit more vegetable options because I don't eat beef or pork. But again, that's just personal preference, but their chicken was always really good. Their veggies were always really good. Their fish was good. I just didn't feel like there was a ton of those options compared to what I was expecting, but that's just me. Here is the little going away present that the home hosted dinner gave us. It has all of their contact information, so if you want to look into them. next morning we woke up and we could sleep in, or we could go do our own thing. We had until about noon in Chiang Mai. We decided to sleep in and walk to the mall just to like see if there was anything cool there, special. It was kind of just Americanized. We were hoping for cheaper prices, but translating from baht to USD ended up being pretty comparable. The only thing that I got really excited about is I love soft pretzels. So they did have an Auntie Anne's there, and for like 2 pretzels and a drink, it was equivalent to like $1.50 USD, which in the US it would be like $15. So that was super exciting for me, but I don't think most people would be interested in that. A lot of people use this time to get like full body massages. So you could get like an hour or 2 massage for the equivalent of like 50 USD. It was super inexpensive. I didn't do that. I'm not a massage person, but everyone said it was really relaxing. And it was really inexpensive compared to US. So that was really, really cool. And then we headed to the airport around noon and we flew to Phuket. So our flight to Phuket was our longest flight. It was 2 hours because we were going from all the way north to all the way south of Thailand. It's a lot bigger of a country than I realized. Phuket was where I was most excited for because I'm a big beach person. So once we got into Phuket, we all loaded up onto like a party bus. It was super cool. And we went to our hotel. Super cute hotel. The only thing that I will say is the shower was kind of off because they didn't have shower curtain, totally fine, right? But the shower door was like this big glass door, and it only went out basically as far as the shower head. So the floors were wet a lot of the time, but oh well, that it is what it is, no big deal. So we went there and we took showers, and my husband and I and a couple of our friends on the trip decided to go to this restaurant called Three Monkeys, which was so cool. It was definitely like an Instagram restaurant spot, but I thought it was worth going to. It's like up in a tree. It was only about 10 minutes from our hotel. We used the taxi services at the hotel. Looking back, it was a little bit overpriced compared to Grab. Grab is like Thailand's Uber. It's very safe. It's an app. Definitely recommend downloading that to get around Thailand. So we took the taxi to Three Monkeys. It was in the middle of the week. It was a little bit later. So, and it wasn't like high tourist season yet. So we were really lucky we got to sit down. We had the place almost to ourselves. It felt like there's a couple different sitting areas. We were sat kind of at the top. They have like nests you can sit in and like nets and stuff. And that was super cool. But we were up at the top and you could see the skyline of Phuket, which was gorgeous. And I thought this place was going to be really expensive because of, you know, the way it looks and all that, but it actually wasn't. It was still really comparable. I got pad thai, my favorite, and spring rolls. Of course, had to get my daily spring rolls, got a couple drinks, and it was really, really nice. We enjoyed it. We got to take pictures. I think everyone knows when people are there, like you're there, you want to take a lot of pictures. So no one was bothered by that. It was really pretty. I definitely recommend it, especially if you're short on time, because it is close to the hotel that we stayed at. So after our dinner, we ended up going to Old Town Phuket, which was like 10 minutes from our hotel as well, but on the opposite side compared to where Three Monkeys was. It was cute. It wasn't anything like crazy special. We did go to this place called the Library, which is like a speakeasy. So you walk in and it looks kind of just like like a library, like books, and then you like go through a bookcase and it's like a club. Again, it was in the middle of the week, so it wasn't super crowded, but it was a really cool concept. The bartenders were super nice and they were fun, like practicing tricks and stuff. And if you liked their Instagram or something, I can't remember what it was, they would like give you free shots. because the next morning we didn't have to go, we didn't have to meet in the lobby till around like 11:30, and that was to go to the national park. It was the other EF excursion that we booked through EF. I'm not gonna try and say the name, I'm gonna butcher it, but here's the excursion. So before that, my husband and I decided to go to this cafe that I had seen on Instagram, and I was like, I have to see it. We're like 20 minutes away. When else are we gonna have the chance? So we went. It was super cute. I really wanted like their famous drone pictures, so I thought we would just go there and like get in line. But when we got there, it opens at 9. We got there at like 9:30, and I was thinking like, okay, we're there pretty early. Drone shots start at 10. So that would give us about an hour. And I was wrong. When we got there, they already had a list, and they were like, all right, next time slot's 11. I was like, well, that's too late. We can't do that. But it was still pretty empty, so we took a bunch of pictures. There is no entry fee, but you are required, there's no minimum payment, but you are required to buy something. So we just got a drink, again, not expensive, and there wasn't like a minimum, so we just got that to go. And then we got a Grab back. We used Grab for both ways instead of the taxi service through the hotel. Felt very safe, it was less expensive. And so we went back to the hotel, we changed really quickly, and then we got ready to go to the national park. So we took little vans to the national park. That was like 45 minutes from the hotel. And so we got onto the boat by like 1 o'clock. There was little, there was like little shop right before we got on the boat, and bathrooms, if you can really call them. It was more like hole in the floor. So if you really needed to go, you had somewhere to go, but no soap or toilet paper. And yeah, so we got onto the boat. The boat was huge. It was 2 floors. We got like full lunch. We got some snacks throughout the day, and we got a full dinner. It was all buffet style. It was really, really good. Honestly, probably the best food of the trip. And you know, you could take pictures and all that. So we went a couple different places. We were able to go snorkeling. We were just jumping off the boat, swimming. And then we also had kayak tours. So at the beginning, you and one other person, so in this case, it was my husband and I, we were assigned to one person, and they actually kayaked for you. So they sat in the back, and then it was you two in the front. And they took you to all these super cool places. So like James Bond Island, they took you to Monkey Island, so you could see like all the monkeys roaming around. You got to see the place where like if you lay back and look at the trees up, it looks like a heart. And just a bunch of really cool places. They were telling you history. It was very worth it. They were very knowledgeable, very sweet, very good at their jobs. There was points where, I will warn you, when they're taking you like through the caves and stuff, it gets really, really tight. You have to lay down. And this is what it looked like. I never felt claustrophobic. The guide is pushing for you. You're never in that for more than like 20, 30 seconds. I can get claustrophobic, and I didn't. So just forewarning, it was fine for me, but just so that you know ahead of time in case that is an issue for you. So we had a lot of fun. It was gorgeous. We were out there, we got to watch the sunset. So again, one of the best parts about going with the tour company is you don't have to find these spots. They are able to take us to the spot where we literally had a like center view of the sunset behind all the islands. It was spectacular. Pictures and videos don't do it justice, but this is what it looked like, and we just got to watch that. We were eating. There was alcohol available for purchase on the boat, but no one really drank it. But there was like water and juice and stuff that you could have for free on the boat. And then after sunset, we had made these little offering things. Like, it was all natural with like plants and flowers and stuff that your guide helps you create. They were super cute, and you get onto the boat with those and they light the candles on them and incense and kind of do like offering into the water. We got to see the glow plankton like in the water, which was super cool. And then we got the offering, we went back on the boat and we got home, and that was the whole day. I definitely recommend it. I think it was worth it. It was one of my favorite days. So the next day we had the optional PP Islands tour. So this was booked through your tour director. He got that money when we were on the trip. So don't freak out if you book the Thailand Getaway and you don't see that on the itinerary. That's really common. It is weather dependent, but thankfully we got really lucky with weather. We went to Maya Bay, Bamboo Island. I can't remember the name of the other place we went to, but the great part is Maya Bay is a huge tourist attraction, and you only get there by boat and you have to pay the entrance fee and all of that. Well, with what you paid, I think it was 2,300 baht, but that paid for a private boat. And because it was a private boat for our group, we got to go earlier than everyone. So we basically had the place to ourselves. It also included some soft drinks and snacks throughout the day, paid for our guides, paid for snorkel equipment, paid for entry to all these different islands. So you don't have to worry about all of that. So we got to Maya Bay, gorgeous. We had about an hour there, lots of pictures, beautiful. And then we went to a couple other islands. We went for snorkeling where you're jumping off the boat, super pretty. My husband was a big fan of the snorkeling. That's basically all he did when he had the opportunity. I've snorkeled before, but I've never actually seen like a lot of marine life. Well, there is a lot. Like, we were swimming through schools of fish, and we saw like squid in the water, and it was really, really cool. Definitely worth it. It was beautiful. And then when we went to Bamboo Island at the end, that was our last stop. You could snorkel or you just relax. Most of us went and relaxed on the white sand beaches. It was amazing. My husband decided to snorkel by himself for like 2 hours, but he said it was awesome. Again, he saw a lot of marine life. It was just beautiful. Honestly, Phuket was my favorite, but again, I'm a big beach person. So we got back from the PP Islands tour around 3 p.m. and then we went back to our hotel. Once again, we showered, got ready to go out, and we went to this place called Cafe Phuket Viewpoint. So it was another place that I had found that's on the other side of the island. So it was like 25 minutes, and it was beautiful. It's on the side of a cliff. Take a grab because they'll know where to take you, because it looks very unassuming from the road. It looks like there's literally nothing there, but it's beautiful. It's perfect place to watch the sunset. I do think they do have a lot of restaurants like that in Phuket. So just do your research. I'm sure if you don't want to go to this place, you could go to somewhere else. We watched the sunset. We got to do like the swings, took some pictures. We had some drinks and food. And then we took another grab right down the road to Bangalore. So that's kind of where like all the bars and clubs in Phuket are. It's overwhelming to say the least. Again, not a huge club person anymore. You will be harassed to go to ping pong shows. There will be people who will come up to you and be like, ping pong show, come up here, come up there. And you'll be like, well, if there's this much advertising, like it must, like we should go. Don't go. My tour director was like really sad that this is part of Thai culture. If you're interested in the details of what it is, look it up. Just be warned, it's a lot. I wouldn't go. The people who did end up going from our tour group said it was very off-putting, not a fan, wouldn't go back. So yeah, just know that. Instead, we did walk around, we got a drink. My husband and a friend of ours got tattoos at Pitbull Tattoos. It was highly rated, recommended. There was a lot of celebrities who've gone there and they just got cute little tattoos to commemorate the trip. And then we went home again, went to sleep because we knew we were gonna have to wake up and go back to Bangkok for our farewell dinner and to leave. We woke up, we had kind of an early wake-up call. I think we met in the lobby around 8:30 and we went to the airport and we flew back to Bangkok. We got to Bangkok around noon and we got some lunch, walked around the markets. The markets that we walked around in Chinatown, they do not care about you walking in the middle of the road. It looks like it should be blocked off to cars, but I guess delivery trucks get through and they will just go straight through. So just be careful, be aware. It's like they're selling everything in bulk. So I don't think it's the best shopping necessarily, but it's an experience. So that was interesting. And then we went back, relaxed, changed. Our flight home actually left at like 12:30, like midnight. And so we had the farewell dinner actually was at our hotel. It was great. Again, buffet style. It was so good. The lemon cake for dessert. We got drinks included, soft drinks and alcoholic drinks. And then we, said farewell. Our tour director, Touch, gave us magnets and a cute little, one of those, I can't think, like cats that go like this. Really, really sweet. We loved him. We were actually his first EF group and his largest tour group that he's ever done. And he was incredible. He went above and beyond. That's also the farewell dinner is when you tip your tour directors. So it was great. And then we changed and went to the airport. Everyone else left later than us, left like early the next day. So some people went out. We didn't have that opportunity. I wish we could have, but it's okay. And then we flew home and it was we went from Bangkok to South Korea to JFK this time, and then JFK to North Carolina. So overall, my biggest takeaways from Thailand is, first of all, I'm so glad I did it with EF because I think a new continent, a new culture would have been really overwhelming for me personally to try and plan. So I felt really, really good about going with EF. The people in Thailand are so nice, so welcoming. They're always smiling. They're always, you know, there to help. I never felt unsafe. Never, 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 no matter where we went. So don't let that keep you from not going to a new culture, continent, all of that, or experiencing a new culture, going to a new continent. The animal tourism in Thailand, it was really, really hard for me to see. And so there was a lot of trash in Bangkok. The other places, not nearly as much, but Bangkok did have a lot of trash, which was, again, it was more than New York City. So like, I've been in New York City, I'm used to that. So it was more than that. So that was not what I expected. But again, I just want to be honest for what I saw. And it was really affordable. Loved that part of Thailand. Everything felt like it was very affordable, especially if you were trying to go on a budget. And EF kind of had everything planned. So you really didn't need to spend much money if you didn't want to. I think total, my husband and I both spent about $600 US, and that was including paying for like tipping our tour director and the extra excursions and shopping and drinks and food and all of that. So pretty inexpensive compared to going to like a European country. So I hope that this was informational to you. If you're going on this trip, have so much fun. I hope you get touched as a tour director because he's wonderful. I definitely recommend it. I loved Thailand. I loved the culture, and it was awesome. If this is your first trip, feel free to book your first trip using the link below in the description, and that will activate a discount code for you. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any questions, go ahead and comment, or you can message me. Check out my Instagram for my highlight reels of the trip, so you can get a little bit more in-depth day-by-day stuff. And yeah, bye guys, happy traveling. One last thing, so I'm planning for my next video to be some things to know before the Thailand Getaway trip. So if you are going on this trip or you're debating on it, stick around, subscribe, and look out for a new video going over some stuff you should know before the trip. All right, bye guys.